pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
JD, I didn't ask you. Are you good? I was ready. I usually ask, but not this time. I call the meeting of the regular monthly meeting of the Salem School Board of Trustees to order. At this time, I have verified there is a quorum. All 7 members are present. And first of all, do we have any comments from the audience this evening? Kim?
No one signed up.
No one signed up? Okay. First, routine matters. Approved minutes of the executive regular session from June 10th, 2024 school board meeting. Allison Ezell makes the motion, seconded by Rebecca White. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Approved tonight's agenda. Ray Opal makes the motion, seconded by Steve Motzier. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Approved claims to date. Becky Humphrey makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Approval of personnel and ECA recommendations. I'll go through in its entirety and approve at the conclusion. Zoma Barrett, new hire, BSE, Title I teacher. Nicholas Carr, new hire, SHS assistant principal. Tandon Mann, new hire, IT department through upskill work and learning experience for high school students. Danielle Shockey, rehire, instructional assistant, BSE. Kayla Ponder, resignation from SMS 8th grade language arts teacher. Kayla Ponder, Brady Schrum counselor position. Don Berg, resignation from SMS teacher. Amanda Sebastian, resignation from SHS special education teacher. Emily Garland, resignation from BSE instructional assistant. Lindsay Rutherford, resignation from BSE kindergarten teacher. Mackenzie Frazier, resignation from BSE instructional assistant. Andrea Pitcock, transfer from BSE counselor to SHS counselor. Lindsay McKinley, transfer from BSE administrative assistant to first grade teacher. Caleb Boyles, volunteer varsity football coach. And Jamie Boyles, volunteer varsity football coach. And Bain Camp assistants, Malachi Eddings, Caroline Casey, Leanna Perry, and Sarah Call.
So moved.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Nick, you are in the audience. Would you like to say anything, sir? I'll give you an opportunity to say something.
I'm just super excited to join the Salem family, and I'm ready to get started and get to work. So
You do go by Nick, right?
yeah, Nick's fine. Yep.
Sorry, my son is Nick and Nicholas, and we
Got to go by both. So
Well, we've heard lots of good things about you, and welcome.
thank you. I look really much forward to it. So
Good deal. Good deal. Action items. Consider approval of the reappointment of Todd Alexander to the Salem Washington Township Public Library Board, term ending 6/30/28.
Make that motion.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Steve Motzinger. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. All right, Dr. Thurston. For those of us that didn't attend last time, Dr. Thurston got a lot of screen time. He's going to get a lot more screen time tonight.
I'm going to try to get less screen time tonight. This is the second reading of several policies. I'm going to read the first and last sentence of each one and ask the board to approve and adopt policies tonight as the second reading. The first is policy 1662.01, threatening and or intimidating behavior towards staff members. And the first line reads, the school board believes that employees should be able to work in an environment free of threatening or intimidating speech or actions, and ends with the superintendent shall implement guidelines whereby students and employees understand this policy and appropriate procedures are established for prompt and effective action on any reported incidents. And that's for approval and adoption of this policy.
Allison Ezell makes the motion, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Next is policy 1422.01. It's policy for a drug-free workplace, which begins, the school board believes that quality education is not possible in an environment affected by drugs. It shall seek, therefore, to establish and maintain an educational setting, and ends with, the superintendent shall establish whatever programs and procedures are necessary to meet the federal certification requirements, but which also comply or do not interfere with collective bargaining agreements. I would ask for adoption and approval of that policy.
Steve Motzner makes the motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Next, policy 0164, notice of meetings, which begins, the school board shall give notice of regular, special, and emergency board meetings to board members, the news media, and the general public in compliance with Indiana law and on the organization and operation of the governing body of a school corporation, the open door law, and as provided herein. And ends with, a board member attends a gathering if the member is present at the gathering in person, or if the member participates in the gathering by telephone or other electronic means, excluding electronic mail. Would ask for approval and adoption of this policy.
Allison Zell makes the motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Next is policy 5340.01, student concussions and sudden cardiac arrest. This policy begins with, it is the policy of the school board that the risk of student injury be considered and addressed in the planning and implementation of every student activity sponsored by the board, and concludes with, within 24 hours after giving verbal permission for the student to return to practice and play, the parent or legal guardian or the student, if the student is at least 18 or is an emancipated minor, shall provide the coach, marching band leader, drama or musical leader, or other official designated by the student's school with a written statement that the student has permission to return to practice and play. Recommend approval and adoption of that policy.
Ray Open makes the motion, seconded by Steve Motzner. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0.
Okay. Next, policy 5350, student suicide awareness and prevention. This policy begins, the school board recognizes that depression and self-destruction are problems of increasing severity among children and adolescents, and ends with, throughout any intervention, it is essential that board policies and corporation guidelines regarding confidentiality be observed at all times. Recommend approval and adoption of that policy.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, next is policy 5517.01, bowling, which begins, the school board is committed to providing a safe, positive, productive, and nurturing educational environment for all its students, and concludes with, the superintendent is directed to develop administrative guidelines to implement this policy. Guidelines shall include reporting and investigative procedures as needed. The complaint procedure established by the superintendent shall be followed. Recommend approval and adoption of this policy.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0.
Okay. Next is policy 7540.02, web content, APPS, and services. Which begins, the school board authorizes staff members and students to create content for web pages, websites, and apps and services that are hosted by the school corporation on its servers or corporation-affiliated servers, i.e. servers the board pays to use or otherwise sanctions the use of, and or published on the internet, and concludes with, if unsolicited public comments can be withheld automatically, the corporation shall retain the comments in accordance with its adopted record retention schedule, requests for public records and AG 8310E record retention and disposal, it shall not review or consider those comments. Recommend adoption, approval of that.
Becky Humphrey makes the motion. Seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Need a timeout?
No,
Take a drink of water?
No, thank you. I'm endeavoring to persevere through this as quickly as possible. I know everyone's so excited about it, so.
Got our caffeine.
All right. Next is policy 8210, school calendar, which begins, the school board recognizes that the preparation of a calendar for the instructional program of the schools is necessary for orderly educational planning and for the efficient operation of the school corporation, and ends with this: the superintendent shall submit to the Indiana Department of Education the total number of actual instructional days no later than June 15th of each year. Recommend approval and adoption of that policy.
Steve Motzinger makes that motion. Seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Next is policy 8452, automated external defibrillators. Which begins, the school board has determined that it may enhance school safety to have automated external defibrillators, AED, placed in buildings within the school corporation, and ends with, the AED devices shall be located at school buildings for use by employees with proper training. Would recommend approval and adoption of that policy.
Allison Ezell makes that motion. Seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0.
I might add that I am not going to be a test subject for the AED devices.
We hope not.
No.
We hope not.
No.
Sitting closest to it.
I am, exactly.
We've got a
yeah.
first responder here, so.
Better to be close than far away. Next policy, 8455.
You all right?
Yeah. Check back at me when you're 20 years older, Mr. Bruff, and I'll ask you the same question. Consider approval of policy 8455, coach training references and IHSAA reporting. This policy begins with the school board, the school corporation shall comply with state law governing the training and certification of all coaches and athletic activity sponsors, and ends with, the corporation shall report to local law enforcement any suspected misconduct by an individual serving as a coach that may institute a crime. Recommend approval and adoption of that policy.
Ray Opal makes the motion. Seconded by Becky White. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Next is policy 9130, public complaints and concerns, which begins, any person or group having a legitimate interest in the operations of the school corporation shall have the right to present a request, suggestion, complaint, or concern relating to the corporation personnel, the program, or the operations of the corporation, and ends with, any board action to remove material will be accompanied by the board's statement of its reasons for the removal. Recommend adoption and approval adoption of this policy.
This time I'd ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Becky White makes the motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
And finally, policy 4120.08, employment of personnel for extracurricular activities, which begins with the school board may find it necessary to employ on a part-time basis coaches or activity sponsors who are not members of the professional staff, and ends with the corporation shall report to local law enforcement any suspected misconduct by an administrator who is a coach that may constitute a crime. Recommend approval and adoption of that policy.
Rodney Bruff makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0. Consider approval for an affidavit for payment.
That's me.
That's you again, buddy.
The Indiana State Board of Accounts recommends the school board approve affidavits for payment prior to submission to U.S. Bank in Louisville, school district's trustee. Tonight we have 3 payments for approval. These payments will be made from the 2023 construction fund. There are 2 payments to Hellas Construction Incorporated, one for $287,774.06, and second for $205,864.53 for materials and work on the football field project. Also, there's a payment to Sunbelt Rentals Incorporated for equipment rental for the Brady Shrum Elementary Playground project. This leaves approximately $1,250,000 for $250,543.09 in the construction funds. I recommend approval.
Rodney Bruff makes the motion, seconded by Steve Motzinger. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Consider approval to declare equipment useless and obsolete.
We have items from Brady Shrum Elementary and Salem High School that are being recommended for useless and obsolete status. A list of these items has been linked to the board letter. These are technology items ranging from computer printers to CRT televisions. 21 items are from the high school, with 5 items from Brady Shrum Elementary. They're recommending the school board declare these useless and obsolete.
I'll make the motion.
Ray Opal makes the motion, seconded by Becky White. All in favor, raise your right hand.
You remember what CRT TV is, Rodney?
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
How old did you think?
Ms. Lipka, would you like to speak about the upgrading of the walk-in cooler at the high school? That's it.
Well, Dr. Thurston's been doing a great job. He could probably cover this.
Spare us.
They need a break.
Okay, so this spring we put in a new walk-in freezer and cooler at the high school, bigger and better than the old that we have. But we're just going to redo, we're going to have the mechanics of the old freezer and cooler redone so we can use them as for extra space. We really need the cooler space bad because we put in a small cooler with that new freezer. But we can always use, if COVID taught us nothing, it was like stock up when you can. When they have an item that you want, stock up. And if it's a freezer item and you don't have freezer space, you really can't stock up. So redoing these units will give us a little more space to stock up on a few items at the high school, and the whole project will be under $30,000. So it's a pretty good way to go.
So while we're up here before we approve this,
Yes.
is there any other details with nutrition that have come up?
Well, a couple things. I just found out last week that we will have the Farm Fresh local Indiana grown program again next year. We were approved for that, so we have that again. So we look forward to that. And actually, I got a call tonight at home from IDOE telling me that when we do our CEP numbers, we find names and numbers, and IDOE also looks for names and numbers, and sometimes we find people that they don't, and vice versa. And so until it's all said and done, we're never quite sure what that final number is. And they called me tonight and said, I don't know why they were even still looking because we finished it more than a month ago. But they said, we were able to, one of the other ladies was able to find a name. So, our numbers didn't go up much, but every little 0.5% helps. So we have a little bit better CEP numbers than what we first thought in May. So that's good news too.
Great.
Awesome.
So,
I have a question on
Yes.
the freezer that we were talking about. Is that something, having that extra space, will you be able to use that at the elementary and middle school too? Does that work that way?
We can. We have downstairs at the elementary, we have what we call our commodity freezer. And it's not just commodities, but that's kind of where things that are shared with the 3 buildings, such as the commodities, and now we might be buying a little extra farm fresh stuff to,
That's awesome.
Because the meat can go in the freezer. Now, produce, you can't buy, more than you need and can use, or you shouldn't. But freezer, because we weren't sure if we were going to have the program at all next year. So I contacted them before school was out and I said, hey, this program, they said it doesn't end until July 31st. So you have until July 31st to order product. So I've been ordering in as it becomes available because it's kind of one of those free-for-alls and first come, first serve. So I'm constantly watching the website, and when they drop new product, I'm typing as fast as I can type. So we have been getting a few things in. Matter of fact, we have another shipment tomorrow coming in. So we use that freezer for things that are kind of shared. It's not that we can't use the one at the high school for that. We could. It's just not, it's not that big.
Right.
So we'll probably use it more to kind of stock up on high school items than any place.
And then the Farm Fresh program, that's like chicken, beef, and pork? Or?
Yes, we've been getting, so we get some produce that way, some of our lettuce, some vegetables. And it didn't start last year until November because they were waiting on the federal funding to come through, and the federal government works at their own pace. So we didn't, I'm hoping, since this is the second year, that it'll start immediately for the beginning of the school year, because I would love to get some local melons, some things that are available this time of year that by the time November comes, unless it's hydroponic, there's not a lot of local produce in Indiana. So I'm hoping that it starts sooner this year so we can get more produce. But yeah, we get, so far we've gotten beef and pork. They have offered turkey burgers. We haven't done those yet. We might try. We're kind of looking at a teriyaki turkey burger recipe. You never know. I mean, kids would prefer beef, but there's a few people that like turkey, so that might be something we might look at this year.
Just
and
don't
try.
tell them.
Well, we do put little signs on all the food with allergens, so that might be a giveaway.
Yeah,
But that's
probably
awesome.
so.
Yeah, that's really awesome though. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dairy and cheese is actually one of the things that you can sign up to get, and I did last year, but there was never any dairy or cheese items offered. It was on there again this year, as asking me, do you want this? I said yes again. So we'll see. I guess they just didn't have any local Indiana-grown farmers because you have to meet a certain criteria to be a provider, to be, and I don't know if they just didn't have any that met the criteria that thought they could, because you got to have a good program in place if you're going to supply the, however many schools are in this, are part of this grant. I'm not sure how many of us there are, but.
That's pretty awesome though. That's
So,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So at this time, I would ask for consider approval for upgrading the old walk-in cooler and freezer at the high
I'll
school.
make the motion.
Rodney beat you to it. Rodney Bruff makes the motion, seconded by Becky White. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Dr. Thurston, are you going to speak on the,
Yes, sir, but not for very long. Okay. We have a recommendation tonight for the school board to increase the support staff or non-certified staff compensation $1 per hour for the 2024-2025 school year. And we have support staff in the education fund and the operations fund. In the operations fund, the increase will total approximately $90,584. And in the education fund, the increase will total approximately $81,778.30. We have 103 and a half, I don't know where the half is, support staff employees in total. and we would recommend approval of this.
Ray Opal makes the motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Items from staff. Luke, hope everything's going well.
Yep.
Good. Already spoke from Kevin. Our wonderful elementary teachers in the back. You guys have anything? Miss Lana? Miss Martin? Good to go? All right. Oh, where was Ed at? Ed's hiding behind Mr. Carr. Ed has nothing to say tonight. Ed's speechless.
I'm good. The new routes that we got coming up, going to Scottsburg. We'll be starting there this fall, hopefully in August, as well as over in Livonia, going over to Campbellsburg. We'll be moving over that direction. We'll be moving up towards Valonia, and then down to Palmyra and Paola. So those routes are in play right now.
Excellent. Thank you for your work on that, Ed. Appreciate you. Non-action items. No non-action items. New board business. No new board business. Positive praises. Dr. Thurston, would you like to say anything?
Well, summer's a nice time, and I really would like to. That's the commitment that our staff has to the meetings and continue to see what's going on. Look forward to the start of school, which will be before the next meeting,
Oh,
August 5th at the middle school.
right. I think that's what the teachers show up, right? Not the students. Students want.
That's
to.
No, just the staff shows up.
See, you're not giving me that information.
We'll have a lavish breakfast.
Luke will have his first, and Mr. Carr will have their first lavish breakfast.
Sponsored by First Harrison Bank, and I see Mr. McGarry.
Aaron represent. How ironic that happened. Did you guys plan that?
No, I didn't plan on it. But we greatly appreciate the continued support that First Harrison Bank shows us.
Drink of water that day. So hurry up, Ray. No, not hurry up. You, but hurry up so we can.
Well, I just had one thing. Last week, I visited the elementary school. Well, Matt took me on a tour of the playgrounds and what's been done. Actually, the lower elementary is mostly done, but I was amazed at all the equipment, handicapped accessible equipment we have, playground equipment we have. Plus, if you're not on one of the apparatuses or equipment, there's, I don't know what we call them, little games I guess you can play while you're waiting. You can spin and things and work on different things. Real impressive, so I think it'd be good for kids. Give them something to do while they're waiting.
I think JD's going to be doing videos, full projects with kind of a delay on, or rather the progress on everything, on kind of a time lapse view. Sorry, I didn't mean to burst your.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Steve.
I just want to say the football field looks like it's coming along very well. Do we have a time frame?
We were actually ahead of schedule.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So.
That's going along very well, and I'm just very proud of that. And Ed, I want to commend you. I looked at your bus routes and everything, and you've done a wonderful job. Thank you.
I'm just going to comment too about the Fair Parade and the 4th of July Parade. That was very nice representation of Salem with our band, our float, our staff, our bus drivers, our superintendents. So very nice.
That's great. I have enjoyed driving by and stalking all the projects, the football field and the elementary. I know people get annoyed with me when they're behind me because I'm just like inching around, but it's been fun to see the progress, and I'm excited to see that. Little shout out to Seth Perlee and the FFA. This past Friday night, there was a member in the community who passed away that was very involved in 4-H and FFA, and they came and presented the family with roses, and it was past officers and current ones, and it was really touching just to see that they took the time on a Friday night to come pay the respects to those that come before us. So I thought that was very kind and appreciated.
Ms. Myers?
Okay, so I also want to give a shout out to the Transportation Department for their enthusiasm and the pride they've shown in our schools with the parades. It has been so much fun. And yes, the new routes. So Scottsburg, Paoli, Palmyra, Campbellsburg, Livonia. If you are interested, please give us a call. We will make sure that we can get you on a bus and get you a ride to school. Great presentation at our fair, the Washington County Fair. Thank you to all the teachers and staff that worked the fair. Stacy Gilbert, Shelley Smith, Jana, you made tons of photos for us. Tracy, I know, made some copies, and it was a great presentation at the fair. I saw lots of lion tattoos walking around. And something new, our supply lists are accessible, really easy to find on teacherlist.com, and you can shop right away at Amazon or Walmart or your favorite place to shop and take care of all your student needs. And Nick and Luke, the new dream team, I am so excited to work with you. I cannot wait to kick off the year. And again, very impressed with all the things we've heard and what we saw in interviews. And Luke is doing a fabulous job already, working so hard to make the high school a great place to be. Salem is the place to be, so come check us out if you haven't yet.
I'm going to kind of piggyback on some of this. 46 days till the first football game. Did the math. Ready for that? And we're that's what everybody's saying. Is the field going to be ready? Yes, it's going to be ready. Band tryouts July the 20th. Also, again, thank you for the supply that you can go to Walmart and get little by little, so it's not all at once. And I think it's smart to pick up just, instead of trying to do all of that school shopping, especially when you got 1,000 children. And also the fair booth, I thought that was really well. But the 4th of July parade was fantastic. And when you see Jill Myers on the float with them, everybody looked wonderful. And not only were they in the parade, they won. Yeah, they were winners.
Most patriotic.
I know, and it was awesome. I couldn't have been any more prouder. I wanted you to just stop and just stay. I didn't want you to move on. But anyway, and that was your first parade for the 4th of July. So
yes, it was so
not your last, but your first, right? Yeah, for sure. Also, the playground area. I'm kind of like Allison. I'm kind of like a stalker on looking around all of that stuff. Youth football camp starts from I guess 8 to 10. Will be starting. It has started. Brady Shrum, the welcome night, July 29th, and high school freshman kickoff on the 31st. And I know these dates are everywhere, but it just is cool and it's awesome to see now all of the activities and stuff going on, the practices, and I love when the buildings are filled, and I love when the coaches are there, the principals are there, the the teachers, everybody's there. And just like Karen working on the food, got to feed all of these people too, right, Karen? So anyway, it's just awesome to hear from everybody. So that's my praises.
And thanks to all the staff for coming in, showing up. Luke, glad to have you here. Mr. Carr and I share the same barber. And
he's a heck of a lot more handsome than you are.
Yeah. My barber.
I'm trying to guess who I share my barber with.
Yeah. So we actually had to talk, but my barber said, "Hey, there's this guy that's applying at your school. He's awesome." And so we're glad to have you. Super stoked to have you. And Ed, the bus paving down there is something in my 5 years that has been huge, and that's huge in inclement weather for our bus drivers to have. So it looks like $1 million down there. Thanks to you and our financial guy over here.
Mr. Jordan.
Putting it together, but it looks awesome, and it's going to be. That's a big deal. So, thanks for doing it.
Thomas?
Yeah, I got a compliment the other day on a member of our custodial staff from a member of the public, and it got me thinking about. It seems like every encounter I have with one of our custodial staff members is always positive and helpful, and they don't always get credit, but it's really nice to hear someone in the general public come forward and tell you something that one of the custodians did that was very helpful and they thought was really impressive. So I'm not going to say specifically that who it was, but it was. It's always nice to hear that, and I think they deserve some recognition, because I think we have. I don't know if it's universal, but I just feel like they're always excited to talk to you about what's going on, and they're always positive in their attitude. And I don't know that that's universal. So,
Jana, anything? Yes. Okay. No, we have wonderful staff from top to bottom, and we will continue to improve. And we have lots of wonderful things coming to our future and support Salem schools, and we'll keep on striving to do the best we can for our kids every day. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming. Our next regular monthly meeting will be August 12th, 2024. I ask for a motion to adjourn. Rodney Bruff makes the motion, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.